Welcome to Remember 64, where this week we're going to party like it's 1998. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome to Remember 64. Whether this is your first time here or you are a returning listener or watcher on our YouTube channel at Remember 64, my name is David Petrangelo, and I don't roll dice when I play tabletop games. No, I smash them with my head. That's right. Don't mess with this guy. He's got a head of steel ready to steal your stars. Wait, a game of chance that just screwed me over at the end of the game? Curse you, Millennium Star!
Who is that hero who flies so high? Who is that hero who flies in that sky? Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong. Who is the one saving all of our stars? Defending the truth of this coconut gun? Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong. Star Warrior Donkey Kong, kicking ass with his fists. Star Warrior Donkey Kong, saving the universe. He ain't afraid to give his life. He ain't the one to go run from a fight. He's always brave and one hell of a guy. He is the warrior of the stars. He ain't afraid to give his life. He ain't the one to go run from a fight. He's always brave and one hell of a guy. He is the warrior of the stars. He's Star, Star, Star.
Wait, who is this gracing this wonderful podcast?
Star Warrior Donkey Kong. wait, ready?
Well, if that made any sense to you at all, anybody, if you've guessed at all that we are playing all three of the Mario Party titles on the Nintendo 64. Yes, we are going to tackle all three titles. We'll be dipping around between the games and the different mini games and the different aspects of it and their differences and everything. But we're recording this just days or hours, really, before the clock hits midnight into 2024. So we thought we would party it up. It's time to chat some Mario Party. Jiggylookback / Donkey Kong.
Star Warrior Donkey Kong.
Star Warrior Donkey Kong.
Full title. It's like the title of Doctor. Like, people have worked for that, so
Yes.
you got to give them the respect, right?
I agree. You absolutely.
Donkey Kong worked for that title.
Yep, he did. As we're recording this, if you are not seeing the recording on YouTube, we are also showing the Mario Party 3 game that we played just a few moments ago before we hit record to record this episode. So if you want to see us play full 35 turns of Mario Party 3 on whatever the desert board is called, I can't remember. It was an epic battle between Wario, Luigi, Daisy, and Donkey Kong. And it was pretty interesting and pretty rattling at times too, I think. Don't you think?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And ironically, I was not Donkey Kong. I was actually Daisy because we did random. We closed our eyes and selected our characters. And, yeah, so it's very infuriating. Yeah. Every time I play Mario Party, I'm in love with the idea of Mario Party.
Sure.
And then I actually play Mario Party with my friends, and then I just end up being mad at them. That's what happens.
That is the definition, or one of the definitions, of this series or this franchise in general, I think. I think that's very common. That's the feeling.
And the only other game I've ever played that makes me feel the same as Mario Party is the game Munchkin, and it's actually a board game.
Ooh, that's a great game. That is a good game.
I love that game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I affectionately refer to it as the game that ruins friendships.
Mm-hmm.
because you just get so. I don't know about you, but when I'm playing a board game with my friends, I sit there and we really read into the cards and what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing. We argue about it. And we're like, no, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say you can take away armor. It says you can hit. So if I have armor, I'm protect. It's like things like that.
Yes. Yes.
And Mario Party, it's not technical like that. It's more like the bonus stars and okay, so for example, here's the thing. Here's the perfect example of encapsulating the bull crap that is Mario Party. Okay? I'm playing this game, I'm streaming it, right? I'm playing Mario Party. I think it was 3. I think it was 3 on stream. I did 2 and 3 recently.
Right.
Um Join my community, by the way, if you ever want to live stream. Dave's come on. We've played some games. It's
Let's
fun.
do it.
Yeah, man. We do like community game nights, so anytime we want to do that. Anyways, we were playing, and one of my community members got a 3 on the first turn. Okay, and we're all like, ha ha ha, 3, ha ha, peasant, And he walks 3 steps, hidden block, star. He gets a star on his first turn with a crappy roll, and that was bullcrap. I literally got out of my chair, walked behind, and paced back and forth, flailing my arms, being like, "This game is bullcrap."
Man, something like that.
But we still had fun.
Well, yeah, and that's the crazy thing, right? Is ridiculous things happen like that, but you still have fun with it. So,
oh yeah,
it's that weird. It's that weird sort of mix between all that. Like, it's hard not to have fun while the craziness is happening, but I can understand why it's also rattling as well, right? Like, there's something about it. And, there's something about the fact that they introduce a lot of that luck stuff later on, which I didn't realize. I kind of didn't really remember that a lot of the luck and the randomness kind of came into play in 3, which is the one that I played the most and the one that I owned growing up. So, Jiggy, get that soundboard ready, because you know what time it is, sir. You know what time it is. Let's bust out the history books, everyone.
I'm learning.
We're heading back to 1998, 99, and 2001 for all 3 of these games. Yes, let's talk about Mario Party. When it comes to the sort of the development and the history of them, it is we're pretty much gonna talk about the first one, because that's kind of how things were iterated on. That's where it began and everything. Hudson Soft is the development team. When I was looking up research, this is one of those logos and those companies that you saw all around Nintendo at this time, especially for this series. This is kind of interesting because they used to hold what were called caravan tours, where consoles and games would get set up in like temporary places, and they would hold mini competitions for kids. And if you don't know what a caravan tour is, for anyone that's younger than us and is trying to be like, wait, what do you mean caravan? Like that, on like a horse and buggy kind of thing? Think of a pop-up shop, but for gaming. That's essentially what it was. Did you ever?
Sounds dope.
It does, right? You're younger than me, but did any of these things ever pop up when you were? Yeah, I say pop up. When you were younger, did you ever experience anything like these caravan tour things? Not even specifically for this game, but just in general.
No, I don't think so. I feel like I would remember this. No, I did not. No, I did not. That sounds awesome, though. I mean, I definitely was alive at that time and was playing N64. So
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
It really got popularized when it was like the Nintendo versus Sega with Genesis and SNES. Like that was.
Oh, sure.
They were pumping them out there all the time. It was a very big thing for Sega to pull off around that time. And I think as technology went on and more consoles were out there and everything, it became less and less of a thing. And they were just in stores a lot more than they were before. So I think by the time 2000, by the time 98 came around, like all that kind of stuff, it was at the tail end of when these things were popular. But that's what they did. That was one of the reasons why Nintendo picked them to do this, is because they said, oh, you have an idea for like a way to make games a party or a competition. Let's use you as the company that's going to create a Super Mario board game, essentially, is what it was. And that's basically what the idea was.
What an interesting concept.
I know, I think
Because
so
if you
too.
think about it, like we take Mario Party for granted because it's that
Yes.
silly party game. Everyone's like, "Let's play Mario Party."
Yep.
And the concept of it, it's essentially I'm trying to think of board games that are like this. It's like Candyland or something you roll, you go spaces, something happens. Not
Trouble,
necessarily a card, but it's
like
Trouble. Sorry.
Sorry's a good
No,
one. Yeah, Sorry's a good
sort
one.
of.
Yep.
But yeah, I just think what an interesting concept translating a game into a board game. I was half listening. Was there any concept of a board game before Mario characters? Like, was it there?
So yeah, so Hudson Soft and Nintendo they went to Hudson Soft and asked, can you make a game like this because we want to make a family friendly game that includes 4 players for this console
Yeah.
that's going to be coming
Right.
out or that just released, and we want to find a way to make a type of game that will involve 4 players, kids can play, and we want it to feel like a board game. So the idea was to have a feel like a board game, but not necessarily specifically a top-down board game type thing. And then they wanted to incorporate mini games. So the idea was kind of already there. It was just a matter of like, how do we make it happen, essentially? And they
But
found
it was always intended. It was always intended to have Mario. It was always intended to be Mario characters.
yeah. So Hudson Soft had, I think from what I saw, they had a plan to make a party board game. But then Nintendo said, "Hey, let's use your developers, let's use your skill, and let's make it a Mario one." And they kind of went from there. So it sounds like it was sort of a they were kind of on the same page, and they just sort of like worked together to kind of make it happen. It really doesn't seem like there was some tough time to make it happen. It was like, "Hey, you have good ideas. You've been doing cool things that are very group and competition oriented. Let's turn this idea into an actual series, or at least into a single game at this point." Yeah, so one of the things I found that was interesting, I'm going to say these names wrong, so forgive me, but Shishiro Nishaya is how I heard it pronounced online. I don't know if that's true, but anyways, this guy works at Nintendo and has been part of the Mario Party series since the first one. Still works there. Is there since the first one.
Wow.
Yeah, which is awesome. So that's 25 years at this point, almost 26. And in a Wada Asks interview, he says, "We always wanted to make a game like Mario Party the whole family could enjoy during the holidays. So we needed rules that would be easy for anyone to understand." So they were looking for a particular type of game for a particular kind of year when, families would get together more than the average time of year. So we're at the tail end of 2023 as we record this. We are technically still in the holiday season. We've, most people or a lot of people have seen Family. This would be one of those games that they wanted to make sure that everybody was playing. And I think that's exactly what these things were, right? At least for me. I don't know about for you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, not I played through one quite a bit growing up. I definitely was, that kid. I did play by myself.
Me too.
I did
Me too.
enjoy it.
Yep.
I would find myself trying to unlock all the mini games so that when my friends came over, we had all the mini games, or we could see all the mini games in the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Kind of scope it out. But yeah, it was, it's fun. I did read an interesting fact because when we were playing earlier, I mentioned Sonic Shuffle, which is a Dreamcast game, which is a Sonic equivalent of Mario Party, sort of. It's different. It's similar, and if you looked at the cover without playing it, you'd be like, "Oh, that's Mario Party, but with Sonic." And yes, but it's got more of a gimmick with like a card like trading card system.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's not as good as Mario Party. It's not as easy to understand and just get into. It's not bad. It's just not great. But I did find that Hudson Soft did in fact make Sonic Shuffle as well.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, which that was a cool little callback because you make that connection, you don't realize, oh, it is the same company.
Right.
So,
Okay. Interesting. And that would have been,
it moved over to the competition.
Yeah. Well, because Mario Party 3 came out in 2001, like we've discussed before we hit record. That's a very late release. Mario Party 3 came out in the spring of 2001. The GameCube was out like less than 6 months later. So, or about 6 months later. So
Yep.
it was a late release. For me, Mario Party 3, I know I owned. I think I rented 1 and 2 a decent amount. But I never had a GameCube, so I played 3 into the life cycle of the GameCube. Like that I play Mario Party 3 more than any of the other ones, and that's the one that we played together, and like that's where they introduce a lot of the chants and everything. So Miyuki Hirose is, again, probably screwed that up, but she worked
Hirose-san.
yeah, she worked on 3 and talked about, I found another quote from an Askawada interview that said, if someone like me who is not very good at playing video games kept losing, that wouldn't be very fun. But even when I can win, sometimes that's fun. So that's one of the ideas as to why they introduce all the chance stuff in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was more just to sort of like balance the scales a little bit. So it wasn't just on skill. And
You know, this is the problem with games today. Okay, in my day, when you were bad at a game, you were bad. We didn't cater to that. You know, that's the problem with things. Mario
Kids these
Kart
days.
has this now. Smash Bros. Like the whole premise of Ultimate was to make Smash Bros. Ultimate. Like they catered to beginner players, so anyone could come in and pick it up and play it, and get good. It's like yes, there's a place for that. There's a place for that, of course. But I also think there should be a hardcore mode where you have to be good and have to have skill. Okay? Because that's the mode I would play, because the whole chance thing, like, I'm sorry.
so
I'm
it's
not doing it.
so yeah, so it's not you okay, so we played a full game of 3. Obviously you played it a bit when you were growing up and stuff. Would you prefer us to not have had that? Like, we just stopped playing like half an hour ago or something, right? Would you have preferred that just didn't exist at all? Or like maybe there was less of it or something? Because I'm with you. Like you say, back in my day, I didn't have, you had to get good. What about back in my day, man? What about like even, 5, 6, 7, 8 years prior to that? There was no mercy whatsoever.
Right. But you feel a sense of accomplishment.
Sure.
And
sure.
I'm not saying that Mario Party is that game in particular, but I like bonus stars. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
And it can shake up the game, and I think that's as far as the chance element goes for me.
Okay.
I think hidden blocks are bullcrap because someone could just randomly land on a space and the game decides, oh, you get a star.
Yeah. Which I got.
And
I got an argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like again, going back to the 3 space roll that the one guy had, and he landed and got a star on this first turn. I'm like, how can you compete with that if the game's catering to it? And I really feel like the game caters to the CPU. And like if it's 4 players, like it feels more balanced. But if it's CPU, the CPUs feel like some mini games, especially if they're like guessing mini games or
Yeah. How are you supposed to
like yeah, you can't compete. You just have to chance it.
Well, I think
because they're so fast, even on normal difficulty.
Yeah. I think and we played on normal difficulty. I think if we played hard, we would have got our butts whooped probably. At least I would.
Oh,
have.
definitely.
Yeah,
I would not dare to go hard.
Yeah. The thing is like there's still skill in those mini games, right? It's still there. But when you get those like hidden blocks, like you said, like something like that feels cheap, whether it's at the beginning or at the end, either way. And I think why it's annoying is because it's games like, let's say Mario Kart. Let's call it out. Mario Kart, a lot of racing games from this era, and especially earlier than this, there's the rubber banding, right? Like they find a way for those karts and those racers, as a perfect example, as to why they just try to tighten up the lead a little bit so things are more exciting. And I understand why they do that, but that works better in a racing game, even if it's not great. I don't love that feeling, but it makes more sense because that's in constant motion and constant action. Whereas with this, you're stopping and going. Oh, it's chance because you landed on something, or you just happened to get a 3 instead of a 7 when you needed the 7, like things like that. Like there's much more variability in this that you'll never have control over. And I guess it makes things a little bit more exciting, but it also adds to the potential frustration of it, right? Like that's the problem. And I'm okay,
But like
with someone like closing in on your lead and getting more coins or an extra star towards those last 10 turns. I find that fun. That's interesting. Why have a blowout win at all times? I don't think that's very fun. But once you have that CPU involved, you're right. Once you have Wario and Luigi that we were playing against, it's like, well, why all of a sudden does Luigi have almost 200 coins in the last like 5 turns?
Yeah, and I can't help but always feel targeted by CPUs because they'll get all of a sudden booze or something that can steal my coins, and they'll steal all my coins. They'll get a battle mode where my 80 coins that I've worked so hard to collect, all of a sudden they get all of them in one foul swoop, and it just feels wrong. And I think looking at it from a rubber banding perspective sort of makes sense, but at the same time, if you're looking at Mario Kart, which also has a similar thing, if you're in last place, you get the better items.
Yeah.
If you're in first place, you're just getting coins or maybe a banana or something, something basic that can only help
Green
you
shell.
a tiny bit, maybe not at all. That makes sense to me, but at the same time, there's that element of skill because you're in first place, you're not getting the good items. How are you still in first place if they're getting good items? Because you're, you know, the game, you're really, you're pushing the mechanics to the limit. Whereas Mario Party, the mechanics aren't there necessarily. You could win, like, for example, I got the minigame star when we played.
Yeah.
So that demonstrates to me that I had the most skill as far as the minigames went. But there are some minigames that are complete chance that I would lose. You know? And it kind of sucks when they're all complete chance because you have, for every great minigame, I feel like there's like, you'll have 2 or 3 great minigames, and then you have like 5 bad minigames.
Like a good handful that are bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not even that they're not fun. Like, they can be fun if you mix it up and put, just streamline it a little bit.
Right.
We were kind of talking about this 1, 2, and 3. 1 I played the most, 3 he played the most, and I found that out of playing all of those, 2 to me feels the best because it feels everything about the first one streamlined a little bit more. I don't know what the minigame count is, if it's different, I'm sure they just added a couple. I'm sure that's all it is. And plus they have costumes, which is the segue to, I don't know if you mentioned it because I didn't hear if you mentioned it. We hinted at it. We're dressed up for no reason. It's just a party.
I got my Mario hat that is squeezing my head and making the top of my head sweat like Donkey Kong would be sweating in the desert.
Yes.
Right now, and if anyone is not watching, you have to see the Donkey Kong onesie that my friend here has. So
yes, I'm wearing a full Donkey Kong onesie right now.
It is excellent. It is excellent. My stupid hat that I bought, I want to say a decade ago for a Halloween party. That happened on like November 3rd or something. So I got it for like $4, like super discount kind of thing. That's what I'm wearing. So nice. Is it the same? I would say no. But
this onesie is very comfortable though. I will say it's like so comfy.
I am cozy. The opposite of comfortable.
It's got a Velcro tie.
I don't have a tie. I have a sweaty head, and that's about it.
Oh man!
Honestly, I may have to take
Nobody
this thing
likes
off.
Sweaty head.
I may have to take this thing off. Like my head cannot breathe. It's so the elastic is so tight on my tight head, and I got headphones on, and I'm just like, oh my god, my head.
It makes it even tighter.
My head is too big. It's like the Simpsons episode where Homer gets like really large. It's like your fingers are too fat for this dial tone. This hat is too small for my fat head. That's what this is.
Oh man,
it's brutal. Mario Party, yeah. So, by the way,
what were we talking about?
I'm looking through some of, like, we're talking about the mini games and stuff like that. I'm looking through some of the just like screenshots to remind myself of some of the games that maybe we didn't play or ones that I didn't get to play when I played one.
Do you have a favorite mini game?
So I wanted to get to that. Yeah, I think honestly, as I'm looking through the screenshots and everything, as much as I have the most nostalgia for Mario Party 3, because I owned it, like I said, I played it the most.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the games in 1 and 2 are the ones that I like the most. Because, I really like the ones. Where's the one here? I'm trying to find it. I think it is. I gotta find it. If you have one, go for it. I'm gonna find the name of the one.
I have two.
Okay.
I have two that I feel like are.
I mean, we can pick a top three if you want.
The rest.
We can pick a top three if you want. Okay.
Okay, I do have a top three.
Okay.
I do have a top three. And so number one for me, I think, is Crazy Cutters, which is where you ride the little jackhammer and you do I'm doing the motion, and you do the outline.
I love how everyone can hear it, but they can't, like, if they're not watching, they can't see it. I'm watching. Yeah, you cut the outline of a character. Yeah.
Usually an enemy like a Boo or something, and just whoever gets like the best stencil wins. And I've just always really enjoyed that. It's fun. Number two, I don't know what it's called, but it's a Bowser face, and it makes a weird face and contorts. And then you have to try and like Mario 64, like that opening with the Mario face, how you adjust the segments and areas of his face. You have to do that and make it stick and just make it morph into the contorted face in the middle of the screen. That one's also a lot of fun. And then the third one could probably flip around a little bit, but the one that came to mind was there's a skateboard one I know it's in the first one for sure.
Oh,
and you like ride the
yeah.
skateboard to the end, and you have to like keep speeding up and jumping over blocks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, escape from the
that's
lava.
I'm looking at the one right now that might be in the second one, but I know it's
I'm positive it's in the first one.
In the first? Okay.
Yeah, it's like ramp something or.
Oh, platform peril. There you go. That's what it is.
It's cool.
Yeah, that is a good one. Oh no, that's not with the skateboard. That's just jumping.
No, a platform is jumping. Yeah,
it's
jumping like
to the sky.
It's a skateboard. I'm gonna look it up right now because.
Yeah. Okay, so while you do that, I'll tell you what mine is. My favorite is the one that you mentioned. It's called Facelift. It's the one where you basically contort the face of the picture.
Yeah, that's cool.
One, it's fun because at this point, almost everybody played Mario 64 and spent like an hour just messing with Mario's face. So that's basically what this is. It also adds a lot of variability because you can be pretty far off or think you've got it, but someone just has that slight percentage sort of advantage to you. So I like this one. It's not super stressful, but it also takes some skill for sure. So I like that. We played in Mario Party 3. We played the Rockin' Raceway, the horses where you rock back and forth and you're kind of going around the track or whatever.
Yeah,
that one's up there for me. I really like it.
Really?
Yeah, I really like it. I like the fact that you have to manage your A B, and your energy and stuff before you spin out. And I kind of like the fact that everyone's, I like the aesthetic of it and stuff. There's that.
Sure.
And then
you beat me in that every single time, so I hate
maybe
that
that's
one.
what it is. Yeah. And then we have another shared one. The Crazy Cutter one is great. The sort of tracing around it. It's so simple, but it's a lot of fun. And again, it's similar to the Facelift one where you could feel like, oh, I got this, 100% I got this. But that tiny little extra polygon or pixel that you may have missed could make the difference between that. And I think that is great. And the fact that Mario Party 1, and I think a couple of these are also in 2, the fact that is in the first game, those two games that we both share between those two, shows that the simplicity of the first one and the ideas that they came up with just on the first one and kind of dropped a couple games later are actually pretty damn good. And that I think that's impressive. I find that pretty impressive. I enjoy that. So that's a big kudos point there.
So the mini game I was talking about, it's called Skateboard Scamper. It is in Mario Party 1. It's also in Mario Party 2. I did not see it it probably is in 3, but we didn't see it when we played.
Oh, there it is.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool because you do run from lava and like the platforms like falling or the bricks falling underneath you. And you're trying to jump over thwomps. Is that what they're called?
Yep.
I can't remember.
Yep.
But there's also a variant of it where you're running from a giant Boo, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I like that aesthetic. I think there's also a mini game that you have to carry like a light bulb or something.
Yeah.
To the end.
I think
I like that one as well.
That one's fun. I also like the one where I think it is. What's the chain chomp or whatever, the black guy, that one, where it's sleeping and when it wakes up you have to hide back into the barrel. I think that's in
Oh
2.
yeah, I suck at that one, but yeah, it's
I
fun.
do too, but I kind of like it. It's kind of fun. You have to like sneak
Yeah.
forward and then sneak backwards, and then it can catch you or not catch you. I find that kind of cool.
You know what's not as appreciated, but I like them. There's the 2v2 ones, right?
Yes.
And so because there's different mini games, there's like 1v3, there's 1v1, there's 2v2, there's 3v1. I said 1v3, but whatever.
But 3v1, yeah.
Yeah, but 3v1, depending on what side you're on. But there's like the mine carts where
Yes.
two of you are working together and you're trying to go like up and down. You go really fast. There's the bobsled races.
Bobsled.
That one's sick.
Love that
bobsled. One.
Yeah.
There's just like a bunch of different variations, and I played in Mario Party 3. I never played this one before, because you don't often do the 1v1s.
No.
But when they happen, they're like intense. I was facing Wario, and we were running in a field with fences, and we had to capture a chicken. And it was so funny because it obscures your vision, like it splits your screen, and it says you might not be able to see where the chicken went, but you can follow its footprints. And
That's
yeah,
great.
Wario was all over the place, but I was tracking this chicken like a bloodhound. I was on it. I got it. I won. Suck it. Took 50 coins.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was like a huge get. Or you could get to the last game that you played against Luigi where he wagered 3.
Yeah, that was bullcrap. It's like, why even bother? Just throw it.
So I think the like 2v2 and 4-player games are, a little bit better, I would say. Maybe not better, but like, they seem more streamlined and simpler in a good way in 1 and 2. But in 3, I think those dual games, those 1-player or 2v2 games, like I think the battle ones where you wager the coins and stuff, I think those ones are a little bit more inventive and a little bit better. Like we had the one where you have to run around the eyeball, and then every time you run around it, it shrinks and stuff, and some fireballs fall from the sky and stuff. I think that's kind of fun. That's kind of cool. And depending on what place you come in, you might get more coins. It adds a little bit of intensity to it because of that. Like I like those, but yeah, the more we talk about these mini games, the more I realize, oh yeah, the 4-player ones in the first 2 are probably better.
Yeah,
and that's just how it is.
I think it's 3. 3 has a lot of them. I'm pretty sure it has. Doesn't have a lot from 1 and 2, if not all of them. And then they just added a lot more. But the problem is a lot of them that they added are padding.
Yeah, that's what it is. Most of the ones you run into, and it says 70 new games, but it doesn't have all of the ones from 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It just has some. So
yeah, in my mind,
nice.
that's the natural progression.
Yeah,
every sequel should just add more, but they should be quality over quantity. Like just add 10,
yeah,
20.
That's fine. Yeah,
and a new character, which 2 did not add a new character. 3 did add Waluigi and Daisy, so it's got that.
Yeah, so it's got that. Yeah.
I had a point to bring up, and I think it was about 1, but I don't remember what it was.
Well,
maybe it'll come back to me.
I will sidetrack you then and talk about the mini games and give you a little bit of a I don't know, maybe you looked at it in the doc, maybe you didn't, I don't know. But
I did not.
I have
spoiler.
A spoiler, you didn't. Okay, great. This is definitely something we have to talk about. One, because I have a pop quiz for you, Hotshot.
Okay.
Take that. Pop quiz, Hotshot. That, and also the fact that this goes into something that is sort of like this, like, not myth, but it's actually true about the game.
Or does it look like Donkey Kong's my face?
It does look like Donkey Kong is your face. I don't even know where my podcasting partner went. Where did you go? Okay, pop quiz, Hotshot. What peripheral did Nintendo release for the early games in this franchise? Any guesses?
I think I know the answer to this.
Okay.
It's not really a peripheral, but I'm gonna say what I think it is because I know the controversy of the first game. Is it a sports glove?
Yes, it is. Peripheral.
It is a sports glove.
Yeah, peripheral is a bit of a cheat. I just couldn't find another word to sort of use for it.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
It got me thinking because I know this story, but I was like, a peripheral. Like, did they have like a weird like like a fishing rod or something weird.
Oh,
You know?
that'd be
Like,
awesome. That'd be,
I was
like
really
the
thinking I was
Dreamcast
out
fishing
there.
rod, like that thing. That would have been awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
exists.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
So what is the controversy? Why don't you go for it, since you knew pretty much almost right away,
yeah,
despite my
so
phrasing.
the fact that the first game required you to spin the joystick, rotate the joystick in a direction, people were finding that to do it really quickly and to win, you would put the joystick in your palm and rotate as fast as possible. I did it. We all did it.
100%.
Everyone did it.
Yeah.
It's the technique, right? The problem being the 64 joystick is hard plastic, essentially, and it was injuring people's hands, and some people were actually breaking their joysticks, I guess. And I have heard from people that they have broken their N64 joysticks doing that or playing games and just like talking about how crap the N64 joystick is. I have never broken a single joystick on my N64.
No, me neither.
And I did that with every single controller I owned. I
Yeah.
played Mario. It was never even a thought with me.
No, I never
And
even got scared by that. Like it was
you
never
know,
even a possibility.
my hand got a little raw, but I ain't a wuss, so it didn't matter. I was gonna do whatever it took to win. Okay, that's the reality. But yeah, so that controversy, like people complained, and I don't know if there was a lawsuit. There was a lawsuit?
There
right?
was a lawsuit. There was a lawsuit
Yeah.
from like a small group of families or parents or something like that. It was very few. It was like a couple dozen or something.
Oh, little Billy's hands.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they were asking
he's
for
never
like,
gonna be able to write again.
yeah. Well, don't worry. In 20 years, writing won't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So there was like a bit of a lawsuit. I think they released, quote unquote, released this glove. It was like an actual like sports glove from like a company that makes gloves for like weightlifting and stuff, essentially, is what it was,
Yeah.
and for bikers and
It's
stuff.
so dumb.
And it basically just has padding on your palms, because when you lift weights sometimes, depending on the weight or whatever, I guess I don't know. I don't lift super heavy weights, so I have no idea.
Listen here. Okay, if I was ever at a party or at a friend's house and they were like, "You want to play Mario Party?" and they whipped out just a single glove and like put it on, I'd be like, "Oh crap. This person means business. This is like Michael Jackson or something. I don't know."
You know what it
That's
reminds
nuts.
me of? Because it's also a glove. Did you ever see The Wizard? When he goes to the movie The Wizard, where the kid basically
I've never seen it. No.
they travel across the U.S. I don't know exactly what the story is. I can't remember. But they travel across the U.S. An older brother, a younger kid, and like one of their friends, and they're traveling across the U.S. to go to a Super Mario Brothers 3 competition on like a stage to win money and all that kind of stuff. They're going from like, I don't know, Chicago to California, or New York to California, something like that. And along the way, they meet, I don't remember the circumstance, they meet a kid that has the power glove. And he's got like a leather
dope.
jacket and the spiky
Oh,
hair.
yeah.
He puts on the power
Definitely.
glove and he's like, "Yeah, I'm a serious gamer." Like that's what it reminds me of.
Oh man.
Yeah, you
That
gotta look up that. You gotta
you
look up
know,
that movie.
I was a mad gamer, but for me, that culture of like coolness when I went somewhere,
Yeah.
that revolves around BeyBlades. That was the thing.
God, you're so
when
much
I was
younger than me. It's crazy.
It was well, okay. I'm not that much younger than you.
Beyblades
I'm gonna-
is not even on my radar unless someone brings it up.
Okay.
Not even.
Okay. Wait. Okay. So wait, you're what? 35?
6.
36. Okay. So I'm 6 years younger.
Yeah.
That's less than the difference between me and my younger brother.
Okay.
But okay, yeah. So it is a gap, but it's not.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy.
It's not
Yeah.
that dramatic.
It's not a decade.
'Cause
A decade would be
I look-
a lot.
The
Yeah.
reason why I'm clarifying this is
Yeah.
because I look perpetually 16, and I am going to be 30 this year. So it's like, please, like, I don't need to be acknowledged as older. I just not 16. Like, come on, I'm at least 17.
At least. You're at least getting close to 20, at least.
But my dream as a child was to be the Beyblade champion.
Gotcha.
Okay, and I would walk around. I would carry around my Beyblade and my launcher, like just in case, because you never know when you're gonna have a Bey battle.
Is that what they were called? Bay battles?
They're called Bey battles. That's what they were. and you'd hold the launcher out and you go, let it rip. And like everyone knew, okay? And there was an epic like RPG Game Boy game of Beyblade.
I do remember that. I never played it, but I know of it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like Pokemon. You go around, you talk to people, and they'd be like, "Let's have a Bey battle," and then you'd like customize your Beyblade and fight, and it was awesome.
I mean, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. I mean,
it was cool. Beyblade was cool.
At least it's an active toy. Like you do something with it. You know, like that's.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
And we would like rip our fingers apart and stuff because they were like saw blades.
You didn't have a glove? You didn't have a glove for it?
No, I didn't have a glove. That would be cool. And I would always launch it because I watched the TV show too.
Yeah.
And you'd like flip it upside down. Okay, this was the Tyson launch. You'd flip it upside down and then you do like a twist and you'd slam it into the arena. So it'd get like an angle and like spin really fast. But it basically would be like you just like chucking this like bladed thing into this plastic stadium. It would smash into another one. One of them is bound to fly out.
Of course.
And just like, I mean, my friends and I, my cousins, like we'd have bloodied nails and stuff. It was like, it was the real thing. I got totally sidetracked, but yeah, Mario Party.
I love it, man. Hey, you had that. At least it was active. We collected Pogs, which was supposed to be a game, but we never treated it as a game. It was more like instead of getting cards, we got Pogs. Like instead of sports cards or cards that were like, you know, the Marvel cards that they have. And instead of that, it was Pogs, which are just little plastic, or not plastic, like cardboard circles. That's all they were.
Well, that's the difference between someone born in the 80s and someone born in the 90s.
Yep, 100%, man. Hey, that 5, 6, 7 year difference, like that gap is just enough for those things to be different. My active toy was the original Pokemon on my original Game Boy. That was my active toy. How about that?
Yeah.
Pokemon Blue.
Cool, man.
Pokemon Blue, baby. Okay, so we were talking as we were finishing playing Mario Party 3. You're like, I don't really like this Millennium Star guy. Like he's sort of like the overarching like ruler of Mario Party 3. He kind of like runs the games, I guess.
Not my ruler.
Not my ruler, not on my watch.
He's not my star.
Yeah, not my star. So, because as we're sitting here, only a few months ago, we played another game with a lot of stars, did we not? I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Paper Mario, if anyone hasn't listened to that episode, go back and listen to it. One incredible game. 2023 has been an amazing game, or amazing year for games. Paper Mario is still one of the best games I played this year, even though it's almost 25 years old. Like
the original Paper Mario.
Original Paper Mario is awesome. So listen to that episode on your feed. But that is about collecting and saving all the stars. You know, that's sort of like your main goal and everything. I think the idea of the Millennium Star came from that game. They came out around the same time. Mario Party actually came out a couple months later in North America, at least. I think that's where they got that from. The Millennium Star specifically isn't in Paper Mario, but there are a couple that kind of look like it. You know, they have the mustache and they're kind of different colors and stuff. And also Mario Party 3 has a decent amount of like set dressing that looks like paper as well. So I think that's what this is about, and that's where it was coming from. Whether he's a good, you know, character to run the game kind of thing, there's an argument to be made there for sure. But I think that's where the idea came from. And I honestly don't think I would have realized that unless we played Paper Mario earlier this year.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely look at this game and see the aesthetic influences that Paper Mario had on it.
Yeah.
Because if you look at Mario Party, like just graphically, let's just talk about the graphics for a second.
Yes,
because they're not great. They're not great, right?
They're pretty chunky.
The first game, if you looked at the model, I'll just use Donkey Kong as the example.
Yep.
If you look at the model from Mario Party versus Donkey Kong 64, you'd be like, is this running on the same system? Because they look completely different.
Yeah.
Mario kind of is... I will say Mario 64 does not... Like, Mario's model does not look that great. But I give that a pass because it was the launch title. It was so early on. And Mario Party came out... What was that? 98?
98. First one was 98. Yeah.
98. So the first one came out in 98. So that's 2 years that they could have... You know, and Mario... That model doesn't really look that much better, to be honest.
It almost he
It's
looks
like,
a little he looks more awkward. Like he looks I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah,
it's
he doesn't look
almost
great.
like the shape of Mario became more human, but the
Mm.
textures are inferior, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'd say.
Yep.
Um, and it's kind of generally all around with all of the characters. I was playing as Daisy, and Daisy contorted in some weird ways throughout the
I,
playthrough.
I think the difference with something like Daisy and Peach, for example, is because they're in dresses, the legs you can't see, so it doesn't look
Yeah, they're
quite
hidden.
as weird and awkward. Everyone else, it feels like unless you're Donkey Kong or the two female characters, the legs almost feel like they're all puppets. You know, they kind of move a little bit awkward.
Yes, that is it. They look like puppets.
Yeah.
They look like puppets. They have the humanoid shape, but then everything else is just kind of muh.
Yeah. And I did
But
notice too
yeah,
that
it's
Donkey Kong at certain points, and I mean this is like a RAM issue. This is like this the 64 cartridge or whatever, is that every once in a while he would like, you know, do his victory pose or look at the camera or whatever, and his eyes would just be completely black. Like he would just die inside. I don't know what was going on with him, but
yeah.
it would be like, wait, where did his soul just
Uh,
go? I don't know.
yeah.
I think the boards are okay though. I don't know. What do you think about like some of like the setups of the way, like in all the games, not even just
Oh,
three? Like, do you like the variability in boards, or do you prefer something that's a little bit more like uniform?
um, okay, so I have a few thoughts on that, and that was what I was gonna bring up earlier,
Yeah.
was the boards. Because in the first game, I feel like I remember a lot of the boards,
Mm-hmm.
like Yoshi's Island and things, the cake.
Oh, the cake,
There aren't
classic.
many, but I like the boards from one. On two, I know there's the space one because that's Star Warrior Donkey Kong, and there is the jungle one,
Mm-hmm.
and there is the spooky one. It's got some cool boards too. I like those. Three, what I've played, the boards, like the aesthetics are fine. I think I don't like the random. Okay, so this board in particular that we played tonight put a really bad taste in my mouth because it had like 20 event switches around circles,
Yeah.
and you would have to get at least like a 5 or 6 on your roll to get past them. And
It
if
was
you didn't,
quicksand.
you'd hit
Quicksand.
this.
Yeah.
It was quicksand. We were triggering this quicksand like every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And it would play like a 2-minute cutscene. I mean, I exaggeration on all counts, but it still would like it was a solid 20-second cutscene, okay?
It's exhausting.
And when it plays 4 times in a row in a round, it's very annoying. I would love to have the option to skip it.
Yeah.
But personally, looking at the boards, I don't know, they feel pretty lazy.
Really? Okay.
Just in general, I would say not like as far as layout goes or as far as what they do,
Okay.
just aesthetic, like how they look, like graphically, like
Right.
they did minimal effort for boards, and that's from the beginning. It's just PNGs basically. I will say I do appreciate that 3 actually has characters modeled out, because I
Mhm.
know in 1 and 2 there's actually like Toad could be like a flat PNG image, just like the top half is separated from the bottom half, so he's like moving side to side. 3, it seems like everything is modeled, as far as characters,
Yeah,
which
anyone
is
that's
cool.
like the bank and all those types of everyone's moving a little bit more and more
Yeah.
like more engaged. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, but
Yeah.
I just don't like that it's a flat PNG image or JPEG or whatever. It could be
Whatever.
whatever file format.
Whatever
PNG
existed
is
at
my
that
favorite.
time, I don't know.
PNG is my favorite format, okay? Um, but they're kind of blurry. They're not polished. They feel just like a background element, which is what they're supposed to be.
Right.
You can get away with it. I'm not like super complaining. It doesn't break the game by any means. It's just something that you notice and you think, man, if it had a little bit more time and effort put into it, because they were chugging these games out. They made 1, they made 2, they made 3 within 3 years.
Yeah.
So they literally just took the game and they were like, oh, okay. 3 with the mini games here, like you can see we're playing right now a log cutting if you're watching it. And the environment is it's nice. It looks
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
I like it a lot. It's very cute. It's very cartoony. It's very Paper Mario-y, but at the same time, it's got more of that 3D model aspect.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just they could have done that with the whole game, and it just feels like they didn't.
Yeah,
because they were waiting. They were just taking the easy road out.
There you go. Donkey Kong's dead in the eyes. You can see it.
Oh yeah, totally.
He's
just closing his eyes.
I think yeah, he's tired. He's been working. You know, we're on turn like 20 at this point. He's tired.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think 3 gets away with it a little bit because it has that sort of paper aspect to it. I think that probably is more forgivable. But yeah, for the most part, you're right. I think I kind of don't mind it because, like you said, all those characters, or at least a lot of the characters, are a little bit more animated and involved and all those types of things. So I'm okay with it. You're right. It doesn't make or break the game, but it's something to point out for sure. So
yeah, I will say that 3 has the best items. I love the items in 3.
Yes, they're more fun. Yeah.
And they feel like you could have some legitimate strategy with them.
Yep.
Although I don't see why you wouldn't just save up and get the magic lamp every time, or the boo bell. Those are like the 2 standout items for me. But even the less useful items like the dual glove, the mushrooms, the different kinds of mushrooms, the phone to call the item shop and things like that, and the Bowser suit. That's a cool item. I like that. And Bowser himself. Let's talk about the spaces.
Yes.
Like what they do, because I think that's an interesting aspect. They have the regular blue and red spaces. Blue gives you coins, 3 coins. Red -3 coins.
Yep.
And then those influence if you're playing on a team or by yourself at the end. If you're red or blue, if there's 2 reds, you'll be 2 reds against 2 blues. If there's 3 blues, 1 red, you might be 1 red against 3 blues, or it could just make you blue. It's kind of random. But it's cool. And then you got your other spaces like item spaces, dual spaces, the bank.
Yeah, the bank.
I'm trying to think of what else. There is like the boo.
We didn't run into the
you
Shy
can
Guy
counter.
spot. I'm not sure what that did. At least not on the board we were on. I actually don't know what that did.
I think it's like a chance minigame, I believe.
Mario Party
kind
3. Yeah.
It's like Shy Guy will get you to do something ridiculous.
Oh, it's another game. Yeah.
Like climb up, do the slot machine or something, or
yeah, he has a couple of like of his own games essentially.
yeah, and they're unfair.
Yeah, which makes sense. It's Shy Guy.
They're kind of
I guess that
high
makes
risk,
sense.
high reward games,
Right.
but they kind of suck if you land on. You're like, oh no.
Crap.
But the Bowser spaces are classic. I have a story to tell.
Yes, let's do it.
So my friend and I would just go over and we just play Mario Party. Specifically, we played Mario Party 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
We rarely played 3 because even back then, I don't know what it was about 2 that we were just like 2 is the best. I think it's the costumes.
The
honestly.
costumes, man. I wrote it
That
in the
is
notes.
actually-
It's one of your favorite
that
things.
is-
The costumes. It's great.
It is. I don't know why they got rid of that, because it was so cool, and in my mind it creates a little story to each map.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And they did with Bowser. They're like, oh, the superstar. You need to get the star so you can defeat Bowser. And it's like you could be a wizard or the Star Warrior or, it was just cool. That's actually where I was playing as Donkey Kong and we played the space map. This is not my story. I'm segueing off my story with the same story. And we played the star map, right? And I was Donkey Kong, and I just came up with the lyrics there, and that was like, I don't know, it had to have been like 5 years ago at least, maybe 10 years ago. It was like we were older, but we had been doing this for years.
Right.
Okay, and
Right.
so it was just like one of the last times we did it, and we were like, I was just singing the Space World theme. And I was adding my own lyrics, so I just came up with that Star Warrior Donkey Kong kicking ass with his fists because he runs on all fours, and I thought that was a funny, goofy thing. Anyways, I digress. We were playing the Yoshi Island map, I think we were actually playing 1 at this moment. And we landed on the Bowser space. Okay, and Bowser taunts you with the different things. You could get the Bowser, give 10 coins to Bowser, give 20 coins to Bowser. Give Bowser a star. All these negative things, and then there's that one thing that says 10,000 stars.
Yeah. Or like
I have never up to that
100,000
point.
coins or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this was 10,000 star present.
Yeah.
And up to this point, I had never seen it acquired ever. I've never gotten it out of all the times I played Mario Party, never seen it. And we were sitting there, and this roulette lands on the 10,000 star.
No way.
And we were like, I didn't freeze. I like this just dramatic effect. We were blown away. We're like, what is about to happen?
Right.
And like, I swear I might have pooped myself a little bit because it was that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, holy crap. I don't think it was me. I think it was my friend that got it. I was like, I'm not even going to be mad. If you get 10,000 stars, like, that's the most amazing thing that's
you got
ever
to take
happened.
it. Yeah.
It was like winning the lottery. And then Bowser proceeded to look at the screen for a second and turn around and just run. And he just disappears.
Come on.
And then we were laughing for like a solid 2.5, 3 minutes because I don't know what we expected. I really thought we were going to get 10,000 stars and it was like this god tier like move in Mario Party. But it just didn't happen. It just didn't work out.
I didn't
But
even
it
know.
still was funny.
That is hilarious. I've never seen it before. At least not that I can remember. Because it's in every game. It's in at least these three.
something.
At least in these 3 it's in, right? I thought it was just there just for a placeholder, like just to mess with you. It's never going to run out. And that's fine, right? That's part of the joke. That's why it's funny.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
And then it happened. And I was like, I didn't know it could actually happen.
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's so...
But he just looks at you and runs away. It's so funny.
Oh my God. Because they could easily
so
go
funny.
like... They could go like, oh, sorry, I don't have 10,000. Here, take 1. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no.
You got 1.
It's just like... and runs.
That's so... Dude, that's amazing. I love the fact that that's even real, that you can actually land on it.
Yeah,
I wonder.
Cool.
I wonder what the odds are. They're probably some ridiculous amount. It's probably some stupid.
It's
number.
It's got to be like something like 1 in 1,000 or something.
Yeah, which would be a lot, right? So yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, because out of all the times I played it, it almost always is just give Bowser like 10, 20 coins.
That's
always screws
so
me over.
Funny. Yeah, I'm gonna try and find how often this happens. Like when I look it up, like there's screenshots of people that have like screenshot after it happened, 10,000 coin present, and like there's a screenshot that just says Bowser ran. That's it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's obviously after he takes off. Yeah.
I believe I actually got it in a live stream.
Oh my God.
In one of my live streams. I did a Mario Party 2 stream and a Mario Party 3 stream. And in one of those, it might have been the 3 stream, I did get the Bowser thing.
Wow. Okay, so
and
it
we
even
were like, whoa.
yeah, so it even exists in the new ones too. It's still there. The 100 star thing is in the new one. It says, here's 100 coins. Don't mention it. Literally, don't mention it to anyone. And then he runs away, and it says Bowser hightailed it.
That's funny.
So it's possible. I just honestly I never knew. I never knew that it was possible. I honestly didn't know.
It's cool.
That's amazing. So what happens? Yeah. So coins and stars are capped at 999 and 99. And when you receive 1,000 coins or 100 stars, it's literally impossible because a game isn't even programmed to get to that number.
Dang, it should just max you out.
Yeah, like it would actually like technically quote unquote break the game if you got to that number. So
that'd be cool.
Okay, so I want to get to this before we wrap things up. I want to mention the social media posts that I put out there. A nerd question of the day, which I've done every once in a while, which is just a random question based on the games or game that we're playing. I said, if you could party with one character from the Mushroom Kingdom, who would it be? And we got a pretty big range of answers, I think. I put it on Twitter, Threads, Instagram. I tossed it out on everything. Let's see. We got. I'll start off on Twitter because I had that pulled up first. Random Gamers
It's X now.
podcasts. What's that?
It's X now.
No, it's not. A Random Gamers podcast said it's got to be my boy Luigi. Gonna have a bunch of pizza with a whole lot of movies playing at the same time. I think that's good. That sounds pretty good. I mean, hey, it's New Year's, right? You can do whatever you want. Chill. You're gonna play Mario Party, maybe have some pizza, watch movies. Why not, right? A novel console says Donkey Kong.
New Year's for that.
Yeah, a novel console says Donkey Kong, but Seth Rogen's version. I'm sure he'd be able to keep up with me drink for drink.
Oh yeah, that's probably true.
Probably destroy you actually when I really come down to it.
I don't think drinking wise. I think if he did anything else, he would.
Yeah, right. Last one here on this is from Gaming Together podcast. I've been on their show before, so take a listen to them. Pauline, which is it's the singer, the main sort of the the one that sings the theme song for why is it escaping me now?
Mario Odyssey.
Odyssey, that's it. My God, I'm tired.
Time to jump up in the air.
Good tune.
Something.
Yeah, all right.
I'll be your one-up girl. There's my singing.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. On Threads we have Retroplay 247 or 247 says Donkey Kong. He seems like a fun guy to be around with, which I think we can agree. I think that's pretty
Donkey
solid.
Kong's cool.
Yeah. My other podcast on Instagram, which I think one of my buddies probably logged in and put this answer in. So back in my day says Waluigi parties. That's it. Simple as that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Bits of Time Media says it's got to be Yoshi. The places we'd go and the things we'd eat. Blissful.
Yeah, that's a good point. I might go for Yoshi too.
That sounds pretty good.
You could ride on Yoshi too.
Yeah, you could go to any
people
party you
forget
want.
that. You could ride on Yoshi. That sounds awesome. And just go get a bunch of fresh fruit.
Yeah.
He knows where it is.
He'll just sniff it out, right? He'll sniff and he'll eat it for you. Out. You can eat the junk food, he'll eat the fruit. That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
Soshi the Yoshi, obvious answer. I wonder who mine would be. That's all they wrote. So
yeah, of course.
Noob 1 to 10, which is someone who's on your Discord, on the Jiggylookback Discord, which is great. They wrote Toad. I think Toad could be kind of fun. I mean, he seems like a really friendly character, so and he's one of the characters, at least in the first couple, that throws the parties in Mario Party. So
technically he does, yeah.
He's got hookups, right? He's got hookups. So and then what else we got? Oh, you sent me one. Where is it here? I gotta pull it up.
There was Only Good Games.
Only
Someone
Good Games.
Else from my Discord.
Yeah. Says Mario, I've heard he knows how to throw a few parties. And that is true.
That's fun.
So I would say for me, just to sort of round it out, I'm going to go with, you know what? Actually, talking it through, I think Toad is the go-to because he threw 2 out of the 3 parties on this console, and they're pretty good games. And like we've discussed, the mini games are a lot of fun. So I think I'm gonna back Noob on this. So I'm gonna go with Toad.
You know what? I changed my mind though.
Okay.
Because I instantly thought, I'm like, no, I'm going for Peach. Because a few reasons. Okay. A, she's a babe. 2,
she's a babe.
She's rich.
Ooh.
No, she's rich. And 3, she's got a castle.
Yes, the castle.
And a kingdom for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that party would be sick.
Mm-hmm.
And she bakes cakes. If you needed a 4th reason.
Yep. I think that's pretty solid. I think like you'd luck out. Like I think it would be pretty easy to find your way to a good party. I think that's true.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen whether you like it or not. So
yeah. And her house is a party because you go through that castle, you can like the paintings. You can just walk through the paintings and you go in a whole world.
Oh my God,
man!
And then you come back out and the party's still going. You could throw you could throw penguins off cliffs.
And she's got a giant slide in her house.
Oh my God.
Dude.
Oh my god.
Dude. That slide looks so much fun, even though it also looks super dangerous.
It's probably the most ridiculously dangerous thing you'll ever do. But you know what?
I would totally do it.
100% I would do it.
And I'd do it on my belly too.
You got it. You got to. You have to dive.
I'd run and go.
Woo!
Laying on my belly.
Is that the sound? Is that what happens when you go on your stomach and makes a fart noise? Is that how it works?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
If somebody punched me in the stomach, I bet I would just toot. Like, it'd just be like.
I will say this: my dog did a really big stretch before, and as she gets older, she farts more and more, and it was right in my face. It was a mouthful of dog fart. It was lovely.
My dog is on
Lovely.
the opposite spectrum because she's a baby.
Yeah.
She's just 4 months old, but she also farts a lot, and it smells really bad. She's a golden retriever, but she'll just be sitting there sleeping, and all of a sudden she'll be like, "Hurr." And you're like,
Oh no!
and then it just, it's like,
Get out of here! No, I gotta get out of here.
So Wario's out. We don't like farts.
Yeah, Wario's out of here for sure. He was also screwing you over in the game that we played, so screw him.
I hate Wario.
Hey, Wario, yeah. Okay, so that's Mario Party 1, 2, and 3. Dog farts, BeyBlades, and I guess mini games. I don't know. The other stuff was more important. I guess, so.
Wait. There's an important thing we need to just lay out here.
Okay, we have to.
Okay.
Let's do it.
The tier list of Mario Party 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, yeah.
What's the order?
Okay.
What's the order? What's the top to the bottom?
Okay. I'm gonna
Number
talk
one
myself through
is-
it. I'm gonna talk myself through it a little bit personally. But I think I do have my order.
Oh, I don't. I know the answer right now.
Yeah. Do you want to? Should we go bottom to top or top to bottom? I guess it doesn't really matter. It's only 3.
Let's go bottom to top.
Bottom to
actually.
top?
Let's do bottom to top.
And bottom to top. Okay, I'm gonna go with number 1 at the bottom, just because it's simpler. There's less games. Like we talked about, the games are still pretty good, but there's just less complexity, I guess, on the boards and
Sure.
stuff. And somehow, and then while I have the most nostalgia for 3, I'm gonna put 3 in the middle, and then I'm gonna put 2 at the top because 2 shares similar games or the same games that we really enjoyed from 1. Plus, it does have those costumes, and I do agree that the whole like story or the way that you sort of go through the different areas, I do like the maps better in 3, like the actual boards. But I think the mix of the games and a little bit more personality in 2 puts it towards the top. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go 3, 1, 2.
Okay.
I think, but that being said, that being thrown out here, when I say 3 is at the bottom, if we put the grand scale of Mario parties out there, those 3 would still be like in the same order.
Right.
Right. Like, I don't know. I've played some of the GameCube ones. I think I have 7 laying around here, and I used to have 4, but my friend borrowed it and never returned it. Yep.
For shame.
But
for shame.
Unless it is back there, but I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure he borrowed 3 games, and it sucked because they were all good. Mario Party 4, Metroid Prime, and Zelda Wind Waker. I will not say his name, but he knows.
Ooh.
But I've reacquired all of those except for Mario Party.
Okay, so and I mean, at
I
least
don't think he intentionally did it. I think
Of
it's just
course.
one of those things. He borrowed it when we were young.
it just sort of
and we
happens.
it just happens.
Yeah,
And
100%.
he's still my good friend to this day. And I thought about bringing it up to him, but I'm like, it's not worth it. I'll just reacquire him.
I mean, you
We're
could you
adults.
could drop a name if you want, and if he listens, hey, whatever you're comfortable with, man. Yeah.
It's all good. Hey, on the flip flop of that, he's giving me games, so
Oh, okay.
it's probably even Stevens.
And out
Although
of those-
I will say, I don't think they're worth as much.
Yeah. You're like, oh no, it's
Mario
fine,
Party
it's fine,
on
but actually
GameCube,
not
those
really.
are worth a pretty penny.
Oh yeah.
Dude, those Mario Party games on GameCube are worth a pretty penny.
Yeah, which
for
is
sure.
so crazy. It's something about the GameCube. It's specifically is with that, right? So
Yeah, and those Mario parties aren't as good. I mean,
I don't know that I ever played
it's
them.
hit or miss.
I don't know. I played.
I'm trying to think.
Which
There's
was the
like
first
2
one on
good ones.
on Wii? Wii, I think, was 7 or 8. I think
It's 8. 7's the last one on GameCube.
Okay, so
And
I
that
think,
one, I have that one.
I think I've played 8. I might have even owned it. I don't know. I never owned a Wii U, so I don't know if I played any
skipped-
of those.
I skipped Wii Mario parties. I skipped Wii U Mario parties.
hmm
I played the first one on Switch.
Me too.
It was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't great, but the Superstars, that one takes elements from the first, I think it's the first four games, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
And Mario Party 4 was pretty good on GameCube. And that Switch one, if you want to play elements of Mario Party just brought to modern day with, just awesome. That's a good one. I highly recommend that Switch one. It's super cool. And if you have a Switch, you can play the original 3 on the expansion pass.
Yeah,
which is what we did online.
That's what we did. Yeah, and again, the whole like your palm and using the joystick and stuff. I think like I played with like a Power A wireless controller. You played with the N64 wireless thing that you can get for Switch,
Yeah.
and I didn't feel like I was at like a disadvantage sort of thing. But there's something about holding that 64 controller that I don't know. It somehow felt different.
Yeah, there are mini games in it that feel like the 64 joystick is really catered to. It's specifically made for that because there was the one in particular that was like an ice path where you have to carry blocks.
Right.
And I felt I could. So I know the technical answer to this is something like the range of the joystick is like 83% at full tilt or something like that, whereas opposed to like I'm sure the Pro controller is probably 100%.
Yeah, it's
You know
the
what I'm saying?
difference between
Like,
digital and analog.
It's purposely
That's
less.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that difference holds true to the design of the controller and just how it lays out in this mini game. Because I can go full throttle in directions and it feels right.
Yeah.
Whereas maybe you couldn't do that with Pro controller.
No, it's like
I'm
it's
just,
like full
I'm just
speed
throwing
or
that out
nothing.
there. I don't know exactly.
It feels
Yeah.
like it's full-fledged, full speed or nothing. Like that's what it felt like.
But I don't know.
I
I
had
mean,
fun.
It's the Bluetooth wireless one. It still works.
Yeah, I had fun revisiting these. I still had fun playing with the Power A controller and stuff. Like it's fine. You know, I could have played it on my EverDrive. It would have been with the actual controller. That's fine. But I wanted to play this. We played it together. I think it was still a good time. I think it still works. I don't know what it feels like with the Joy-Cons. Probably not quite as great. But
Probably trash.
yeah,
I wouldn't even bother with Joy-Cons.
yeah, like it's fine. But
Unless you're in handheld.
yeah, unless you're in handheld, yeah. I actually started that when I booted up. I think I booted them up in order 1, 2, 3, and I like played like a couple of rounds, and I was like, "Ooh, this feels weird. It's cool to have it handheld, but I didn't like the way it felt." So then I just docked it and I used the controller, and it was better. But
Yeah.
Mario
Party is a multiplayer game, man.
I know. It was good. It was good. Even just playing two people, even just two people, it was fine. You know, I don't mind that. It adds a little bit, you know, of the human element of error or competition or however you want to see it. It was good. I had a good time. I still think these games are worth going back and playing. And because they're on the expansion pack, if you do have that, play a couple rounds, play a couple mini games, try to find ones that might work for you that you like the best or don't like, and I think you'll get a good taste. You don't. If you're playing on your own, just play 20 turns because 35 takes a while, depending on what map you're playing or which board you're playing. We played 35 turns and it took about 2 hours, which is not nothing. So,
Yeah, it was kind of long, but I will say that I don't think 2 hours is an accurate time frame for all Mario Party rounds at 35 because this map we picked, like I said, we had this cutscene it had to have added like a solid 25 minutes to our playtime.
And then like you mentioned earlier with like skipping things, the fact that you can't do that. So like the computer characters get an item game and you have to sit and watch that for like 3 to 4 minutes. Like that happens 10 times. Boom. You got an extra half hour. Like that's a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's true. That's a good point. Plus you could also have a save state. So I guess there's a way around it a little bit. You don't have to do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Do it all in one chunk. But, Mario Party 1, 2, 3, still a pretty good time. Still fun ideas, I think, which is really what it's all about. Just gonna go have a fun time. Definitely a much better time when you play with other people if you can. The fact that you can online now on Switch is great. We had very little issue with any connection. I don't think we really ran into much at all, so that was great.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. I was playing off wireless. Everything was totally fine. So, other than that, man, Mario Party, good way to end off 2023. We're going to have some, if you're listening to this towards the tail end of 2023 or early 24, we're going into a year of some random fun ideas. We're going to
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna dig into some. We're definitely gonna be playing through the N64 library, but Jiggy, you did this a little while ago where you played some mods of games. We're gonna continue that idea. We're gonna
Oh
do more
yeah.
of that. We're going to find games that have mods or unreleased games or things like that, and we're going to play those and review those every couple of episodes as well and have that experience, because why not experience something new while also feeling retro? I think it's kind of cool.
This is what I'm doing. I'm playing a lot of these mods, just random mods that I'm finding for different games on live stream, and just kind of like playing through a couple of them just for a little bit
Little
here and
taste.
there to find the good ones. Okay? And then I'm coming back and Remember 64. I'm gonna be like, these are the ones we need to play.
This guy's putting in the work.
Because
I'm just sitting here.
I I am so interested in the idea that I put out a video that I called "The N64 is King in 2024," or "Why the N64 is King in 2024." I I think mods are a huge factor into that. You've got some retro console release like re-releases. You have I can't remember, it's like the Polymeg or something like that. It is a emulator console, kind of like a Retron a little
Hmm.
bit, but you have mods that you can detach and put on, and it can read the physical hardware. And they just made an N64 one, and it will HDMI out, upscale,
Amazing.
everything right from, and that's super cool. Analog 3D is coming out with, or Analog is coming up with the Analog 3D, which is their thing, and I'm just so excited about these new consoles that could potentially make the 64 games look as good as I remember on my modern
Right?
screen,
Yeah.
which is super cool. And just follow that up with all these mods that people are making. They're making, because when you think of mods, you probably think on the limited scope of cosmetics, right? You think,
Sure.
oh, it'd be funny to play Smash Bros. And you play as Wolf, but it's just Fox that looks like Wolf,
Right. Which is out there.
because a lot of,
Yeah.
that's kind of like the Skyrim effect, I'd say, like mods like that. But we're talking mods that are full games.
Yes.
I'm not
Yes.
joking with you. Like, we're talking Kirko Mods. I'm going to shout him out a little bit because Banjo-Kazooie Jiggies of Time I played. I went in expecting it to be like this little 1 hour experience of, oh, it's Banjo in Zelda of Ocarina of Time. Like, he just put Banjo in that world and you just play around. No, it is that, but it's so much more than
It's
that.
more. Yeah.
Literally, the whole world is redesigned around Banjo. All the dialogue is
The
different.
music
Some parts of the world are
changes.
completely
Like,
different. Like the castle town that you go into right before Hyrule is an entire level, and it's platforming, and it's got its own transformations, original dialogue, story. It's incredible. I I was just blown away, and that was just the start. And I found so many other mods, so you got to stay tuned.
yeah.
Follow, drop a like. You need to stay tuned to this podcast because we will be exploring some really cool stuff. And I have reached out to some very cool people that we could potentially have as some guests to talk about these games and these mods and things. Just super cool. It's going to be a great year, and I'm super excited to go through and play some of these new experiences of old experiences.
On original hardware and everything too, which is super awesome. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
that's the cool part about it too. There's also like a few games, I mean, not a few, there's definitely quite a few games out there that are new that you can play on PC, for example, and use modern controllers or a USB N64 controller that are N64 graphics and types of
Inspired.
adventure
Yep.
games and stuff like those as well. We'll try and dig into that along with moving through more of the library of the actual N64. So like I'm excited because we're going to be playing tons of stuff that we've never played before or have very little experience with, and that's why I love doing this, is because we've run into that so many times already. And I'm excited. 2024 is going to be awesome. So I just want to say, if you've made it this far through this episode and this show at all, like in any way whatsoever, thank you so far for coming along for the ride. Jiggy came on as more of a regular and more of a co-host a seat pretty much almost this entire year. Once Donkey Kong 64 hit, it was like, well, this is a no-brainer. Let's keep this shit show on the road.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
I can't believe it's been an entire year.
Almost,
wow,
yeah, because I think
yeah.
Donkey Kong was March or April, so yeah, it's been that long. And honestly, it's great. It's great to have different experiences. Like, we're joking about our age and stuff, but that's all great because it adds to the different perspectives and everything. So I am all for it, and I'm excited to keep kicking ass and taking names for the N64 as we go forward. Remember 64 show across the board as far as social media goes. Spending more time on threads than other ones at the moment so far, but that could change. I don't know. Everything's up in the air at this point. And Jiggy, why don't we tell everybody about your work?
Really?
I don't know.
Okay, but
at this
before
moment that
we
I'm
tell-
sitting here, at least.
Gotcha. Before we talk about mine, I just want to
Yeah.
say that people need to go on and actually rate the podcast.
Yes.
Okay? If you're having a good time, I feel like we don't say that. I mean, you do in the show sometimes, if not every time, but sometimes.
Keyword.
But I just want to.
Keyword sometimes, because I forget quite
Sometimes, yeah. I think it's important to go, if you like what you hear, and even better, if you like what you see.
Oh, yeah, you
definitely need to go. You need to go review this podcast, okay? It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Podcasts. Basically, the more positive reviews we get, the more credible we are, the better guests we can get on the show. Okay, that's just what it comes down to. I think we've got some cool stuff coming, but I think if you would just take a second and go review the podcast, just drop 5 stars. Okay, just drop 5 stars. You don't need to think about it. Just drop 5. Okay, and if it's out of 10, just drop a 10. But I'm pretty sure it's 5. So just drop 5 power stars for Mario Party, and you can be a superstar as well.
Yes, you
Okay.
can. And also,
Power Warrior Donkey Kong.
I put out, speaking of like Spotify, for example, because I run it through their system, the uploading the episodes and stuff, they have the cool thing where you can ask like a question if you listen on Spotify, and you can answer that question. Similar to when I was talking about the nerd question of the day, like, oh, who would you party with or something? You can do that on the episode itself. So within Spotify, you can actually put an answer in there. And if you answer to that question, some of them will just say like, you know, did you enjoy this episode? But other ones I try and come up with like funny questions or something like that that's related to the game. Like, what was your favorite mini game, for example? What was your favorite Mario Party and all that?
Yeah.
And then those responses will go up on the feeds for other people that find the show. Will see what you said on that. So it's kind of a cool thing where it's a little bit of a quiz show type of thing. Or not quiz show, a little Q&A type thing.
How many tangents unrelated to the topic did Jiggy go off into?
Hey, I encourage it, man. I'm all for it. So
There's at least 4.
that's fine. That's fine. I learned something. I learned about BeyBlades today. I'm not going to say that's a negative.
Dude, okay, BeyBlades, but here's the thing. Okay, you need to know this before we go. BeyBlades today are not the same as BeyBlades back then. Okay?
Sure.
BeyBlades today are, even though they're metal and they might have some cool effects, like mine growing up, I mean, they were plastic razor blades. They were not safe at all. You were in danger of losing an eye, losing a finger, like anything. They were amazing. We would mod them. You had different things, like it reached a point where they would add like magnets to them, so they'd have like repelling and attracting effects, which was cool. And then beyond that, they would even have gears inside of them, so that when you reached a point in the battle, all of a sudden your Beyblade would just like crank the gears on.
What?
And it would gain momentum back and like spinning power back. So if that doesn't like sound like the dopest toy ever, it was so cool.
It
man.
does sound cool. It does sound cool. It was just after my time is really all that that's really the only reason why. It's the only reason why.
But the culture was there. Like
Yeah.
I was hyped for a reason, because
my cousins
man,
had it.
I did want to be the Bay champion of the world.
Hey, no one said you weren't. You could
yeah,
have
it
just
was
said
cool.
that you were. I would have believed you.
Yeah, but I'm not like that. I'm honest, you know.
Honest to a fault.
Honest to a fault. But anyways, you can find my stuff on YouTube for the most part. I mean, I'm on all the socials. I'm on the TikToks. I'm on the Twitter X's and the Threads and the, you know, all that jazz. I don't post on Threads that much. Dave seems to be really into it. I'm not really into it. I would say my wheelhouse pretty much revolves around YouTube And actually, I've been spending a lot of time on X lately, because it's been a lot of fun. Kind of get into little fights with people. In good fun, not serious fights.
Everyone
Just-
has their
just-
own
just
sense
fun,
of
like,
fun. That's fine.
everyone has really strong opinions about games, and I like to push the buttons sometimes. And my opinions are always just way, like, I don't know. People say I have good takes, okay?
So
I'm
use
not
'em.
saying my opinions are right, but I was gonna say my opinions are usually like way different than what other people
Right.
say.
Right.
Like my opinions are usually against the popular opinion, generally, but usually there's a good amount of people that are like, yeah, that's a good take. And I'm like, okay, like, I don't know, maybe I can just spin my opinion in such a way that it makes it sound better than it actually is. But you know, I love all the retro games, so I'm just be like, Call of Duty, Donkey Kong 64,
Take that.
which 3 people out of 20 would probably agree with me. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, YouTube's growing like crazy. YouTube community's growing like crazy. I got a Discord, and the Discord server has Remember 64 stuff on it. Dave's in it. We chat about all sorts of stuff. That's growing, but the YouTube is really growing. I'm kind of blown
man.
away by how it's growing
Very
lately.
impressive.
So, yeah, I just recently became a YouTube partner. So it's cool. And the more it grows, the more stuff I get to cover.
Yeah, man.
So I'm just excited to see where everything goes and keep continuing on with N64 related content.
That's it, man.
So let's do it.
Big year coming up for both of us, whether it's this show, whether it's individual stuff. It's going to be great. So, dude, thanks again. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. If you've been watching us, you can also find, I'm going to try and, if I can get the time to sort of get the editing and all that kind of stuff going, I'm going to try and put up the full playthrough of our time as well. For our 2-hour session. We didn't spoil who won, so you'll have to watch and find out. Any guesses? And that's pretty much it. That'll do it for, if you're listening to this around the time of New Year's, this will do it for 2023. On to some more fun, awesome stuff. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being with us. We will talk to everybody next time on Remember 64.
So long, superstars.